Yo, we are live. What's going on, gang? Murphy here. Hope you're doing well. It is a beautiful Friday morning here, bright and sunny, a little cool, but feels amazing here today. So, I got a serious topic. We're going to go deep into this one today, guys. And we're going to go into kind of what I consider the greatest proof. I'm going to get into what I feel like is the greatest proof of God's existence is. And this one's going to go a little deep. This one might ruffle some feathers. But I got to tell you that the more that I'm digging into the Word, the more that I'm looking at the world events that are going on, the more I'm looking at people's emotions getting out of control, which I was there. I used to let my emotions control me, right? And they still happen. Emotions still get the best of us. I'm not saying that I've got a strong handle by any means where I never lose control or anything like that. But it's prevalent. It is just easy to see how much corruption, how much turmoil, and how much evil is in the world today. And that right there, to me, is the greatest proof that God exists. And here's why. So, when we think of evil, and we think of, well, let me scratch that real quick, and let me say this first. We all know what good and evil is, right? Like, I think we could all agree what's good, what's bad. Murder, bad. Treating others with kindness and love, good. Right? Stealing from your neighbor, bad. Giving to your neighbor, good. Like, we can all kind of decipher what good and bad things are. But why are we seeing so much more corruption, so much more evil, people, even at the top, getting away with it? It's because the world has fallen to evil. The world is Satan's. This is Satan's realm. And it surprises me. It doesn't really surprise me, but this might surprise you when I say it, that there are so many people on this earth right now who will believe in a spiritual realm, who will believe in manifestation, and will believe in, if we just think it, it'll become, right? Which I'm a big believer in. What you focus on is what you're going to get. It's what you're going to attract, things of that nature. I get it. But so many people are caught up in this spiritual realm without realizing, first and foremost, we are spiritual beings living a human experience. And one day, I'm going to die, you're going to die, everybody before us that lived on this earth has already passed on, they all died. Everybody in front of us, they're born after us, they're going to die too. Everybody's going to die at some point. And guess what happens? That spiritual being that we have, it's going somewhere. It's going places, y'all, okay? And so I want you to think about that for a minute, because so many people are caught up in this, they believe in the realm, the spiritual realm and all that, but they won't buy into the fact that there is a good and all-powerful and joyful and loving spiritual realm, and then there's the realm of darkness, fueled by evil and corruption and lies. And guys, the very first recorded piece of evil back in the book of Genesis was one lie. It was a lie that you can eat of that fruit. The reason God doesn't want you to eat from this tree is because you'll gain all kinds of wisdom, and you will know more than God. That was the first recorded earthly lie and battle in this spiritual battle. But guess where that spiritual battle actually began? It began in the kingdom of God. It began in the kingdom of heaven, where Lucifer, who was once God's most beautiful angel, wanted to overthrow God off the throne. And he wanted all the power and all the glory, everything for himself. And that's why God cast him out. And Lucifer was the fallen angel, which now has inherited this earth as his playing field. So the spiritual war started long, long, long ago, before we were in existence, before we were created. Then, in the Garden of Eden, with Adam and Eve, the first lie was told, and the first sin was taken. And then they did become all wise. They realized they were naked. They realized life and death. That's when they learned about life and death. Because now that they've sinned, the punishment for sin is death. And then we had the first murder death to occur. And that was when Cain killed his brother Abel. Sorry. So we had the first murder existence. So evil has been a part of existence for as long as God is telling us, right, is revealing to us. First, the fall of Lucifer from God's kingdom, then brought here to earth. And guys, we have seen more evilness, we've seen more corruption, we've seen more hurt. We've seen more troubling times in the past couple years than I've ever existed in, that I've ever witnessed or experienced in my entire life. You know, we all talk about, man, if we could just go back to 2019, life was good in 2019. Like, it's hard to realize that we had so much to complain about. Go back even earlier to the 90s, go back even earlier to the 80s. You know, life just seemed like really, really good, right, growing up. Now, I get it. With age comes more wisdom. With age comes more experience. And our eyes are open to the innocence. But what about the innocence as trying to be stripped away from our own children? Right into schools, right into the school system. I'm seeing, I don't know how much of it is true because I don't work in a school system. But I had this conversation with Slane. I said, if this is stuff that's actually going on in the public schools with our children and stripping of their innocence, they're not going to a public school. They are going to be homeschooled, or we will be, or they'll go to a private school. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but we could just see the evil at work. And the evil goes to work on the big scale, within our governments, within our school systems, within our military, everywhere that you look, within your workplace, within your job. But guess where it attacks first and foremost? The family. It attacks you, and spreads to the family, and then it spreads outward from there. And this is why I say this is the greatest proof of God's existence, because here's why. Now I'm going to get into why I actually believe this proves God's existence, because we can sit here, we can really talk about all the evil stuff forever and ever and ever and ever, because it's non-ending and it won't end until his second coming. But through all of this, through all the turmoil, through all the corruption, through all the evil patterns and the ways of the world, we right here, right now, can still find peace, joy, and happiness right where we are right today. And do you think that peace, love, joy, happiness is just something that you dwell from the inside and that you just materialize yourself? Or do you think there's a greater plane, a greater realm that has all that for you, readily available, that is abundant to give all of that to you, no matter where you are in life right now, no matter where you're at, no matter what your struggles are, no matter what obstacles you're facing? That to me, look, I lived it. I'm breathing it. I'm walking and talking it now on these videos and doing these YouTube channels and all that stuff because of my own personal transformation. Look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I grew up knowing about God. I didn't get to know God and who Jesus was until I hit rock bottom. And I started really opening my Bible and started reading and started praying and started learning who he really is. And here's the thing. Something that I've kind of come across and something I've come to discover is God doesn't give love. God isn't just, hey, I am a God and here's some love for you. God is love. And so our capacity to kind of understand that and grasp that, I don't know if we all get it. I don't know if I truly understand that. But here's what I try to comprehend out of that is if I want love, if I want to love my neighbor as thyself, if I want to love Selena, if I want to love Hunter, if I want to love my family, if I want to give out love, I need to be filled with that love, and I need to have that love of its source. And God is the source of that love. Satan is the source of lies and of hatred, and he hates you. He hated me, he still hates me, and he tries to stomp on me, he tries to stop me from doing these messages. I just try to do a video inside the gym for my YouTube channel, which here I do the lives, and I post these lives on my YouTube channel. Yo, Melissa, what's going on? Appreciate you joining on today. But while trying to set up all the things, how you doing? Good. While trying to set up the camera and all the tripod and all that stuff to shoot the YouTube video inside the gym earlier today, the camera kept falling off the tripod for whatever reason. I got about 18 minutes of my video recorded when the phone stopped and I lost my footage. And I'm just thinking, boy, oh boy, Satan, like, are you trying to put a stop to me getting this message out? Are you trying to put a stop to spreading God's word and God's message, God's love? Because Satan knows, he knows what's in store for him in the end. He knows he loses in the end. But Satan ain't gonna stop me. Yes, I got frustrated there for a hot minute, but just as quickly as I got frustrated, just as quickly as I got angry at my equipment for kind of failing on me, I immediately just went and just said, Satan, I cast you out of this gym. You do not have a stronghold here. I'm getting the message out, and here's the video. We're just going Facebook Live with it. But as soon as I spoke those words, my anger and my frustration quickly turned to peace and resolve. It's that powerful, guys. And that's why I know where there's an evil realm and there's evil corruption, there's the flip side. And there's the spiritual realm of joy, of happiness, of peace, and of salvation. And that gives proof, and we can see it. If you choose to ignore it, that's on you. You choose to ignore it. You choose to not see it. You choose to put blinders on. And trust me, I did it for a very long time. I put blinders on, follow my own will, follow my own way. I've got this kind of thing. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. Nobody's going to tell me how to live. I'm following my heart. I'm following what I feel like. Whew, a lot of lies in those words. A lot of deception in those words. A lot of deception in those actions. So, make the judgment call for yourself. But to me, that is the greatest proof of God's existence, is that we are in a spiritual realm. We are on a spiritual playing field. We're on a spiritual war front right here, right now, between good and evil. Whose side are you on? Peace, love, and strength. I'm out.